Introduction: the rhythm of fluency. Imagine listening to a powerful piece of music. You don't master the song by reading the sheet music over and over in silence. You master it by humming along, catching the beat, and eventually singing the lyrics at the exact same time as the artist. Learning a language is no different. True fluency isn't found in a dusty grammar book. It is found in the rhythm, the pacing, and the music of real speech. Today, we are going to explore the core rules of a technique that will completely transform how you speak: the shadowing method. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say with a fraction of a second delay, acting like an echo. As you listen to this story, let the principles settle into your mind. This text is designed to guide you through the rules of the method, while giving your ears and voice the perfect training ground to begin. Rule 1. Listen before you echo. Our first rule begins with patience. Many language learners want to jump straight into speaking, shouting out words the moment they hear them. But a fast start often leads to sloppy habits. If you're finding your flow with today's session, subscribe to the Story Shadow and join our community of English learners. The first rule of shadowing is simple: train your ears before you train your tongue. Before you attempt to speak along with a story, you must listen to it passively at least once. Pay close attention to the rises and falls of the speaker's voice. Notice where they pause to take a breath. Notice how some words crush together while others stand completely alone. In English, we call this the cadence. By listening first, you map out the territory of the language in your brain. Once your ears know the path, your mouth can follow without hesitation. Rule 2. Mimic the emotion, not just the words. When people shadow, they often make the mistake of sounding like a robot. They repeat the words accurately, but their tone is flat, lifeless, and mechanical. The second rule protects you from this trap. Copy the speaker's energy, passion, and emotion. Language is more than vocabulary. It is feeling. If the narrator in a story sounds surprised, your shadow should sound surprised. If the speaker slows down to emphasize a serious point, you must slow down too. By mimicking the emotion, you force your brain to connect English words to real human experiences. You stop translating in your head and start feeling the language. This is how you break away from a rigid textbook accent and develop a natural magnetic way of speaking. Rule 3. Focus on the connection, not the grammar. English is a language of connections. Native speakers rarely pronounce every single word perfectly on its own. Instead, they link words together. A phrase like, "what do you do?" often sounds like, "would you do?" This brings us to the third rule. Focus entirely on the flow of the sentence, not the individual pieces of grammar. When you are shadowing a story, do not stop to analyze why a specific verb tense was used. Do not pause the audio because you missed a preposition. Let the language flow like a river. Your goal is to capture the fluid connection between the words. In speech, smooth transitions matter far more than isolated perfection. Train your muscles to link sounds seamlessly, and the grammar will naturally follow your muscle memory. Rule 4. Embrace the power of the pause. In the corporate world and in daily life, powerful men understand the value of silence. They do not rush their sentences. They do not speak at a frantic pace to prove they know the answers. The fourth rule of language mastery is own your pauses. The spaces between words carry just as much meaning as the words themselves. When shadowing, pay strict attention to punctuation. A comma is a brief hesitation. A period is a full stop. Pausing allows your listener to digest your thoughts, and more importantly, it gives you a second to breathe and control your pitch. Rushing through your shadowing practice will only train your brain to speak with anxiety. Slow down, respect the silence, and speak with steady authority. Rule 5. Keep moving forward. When you begin shadowing a long story, you will stumble. It is an absolute certainty. You will miss a word, mispronounce a vowel, or lose track of the narrator's pace. The fifth rule is your ultimate shield against frustration. Never look back during a session. Keep moving forward. If you trip over a phrase, let it go. The water has already flowed under the bridge. If you stop the audio every time you make a mistake, you destroy the rhythmic momentum of the exercise. Shadowing is high intensity training for your speech muscles. If a runner trips during a race, they don't walk back to the starting line. They regain their balance and keep running. Treat your mistakes with total indifference. Stay locked into the current second of the audio and keep your momentum.